Valley News Now. Welcome to Apple Valley Wine.
Hi, I'm Jamie Council and welcome to Apple Valley Wine, a program dedicated to highlighting our local viticulture. During the show, we hope to highlight some of the best and educate you on our amazing local wine industry. If you miss any of our show or want to see it again, you can watch it anytime online at applevalleynewsnow.com. Just click on Apple Valley Wine. Now, let's get started. That's the sound of longevity in the wine world. Coyote Canyon Winery is celebrating their Big 3-0, 30 years in the Prosser area. Let's find out how they've stood the test of time. We're joined by Mike Andrews, owner at Coyote Canyon Winery. And Mike, 30 years, what's made you so successful in the region?
Wow, those 30 years have went by so fast. I think the big thing is our location. We have just the perfect terroir for growing the high quality wines that can be grown in the Horse Heaven. Our family's been here for like 4 generations, and my kids and their crew today are the ones that are running the farm, and we do everything in a timely fashion, from pruning to thinning to harvesting. We do everything on time. I've grown up in this community, been farming here for 50 years, but I've been living in the community for 72 years. It's very important to me, all the stuff that we have been able to do. I mean, as you grow up, people have been our mentors, not only in the wine industry, but, grew up with kids at school that were close friends. And we had some wonderful teachers that had a great influence on my life that encouraged me to come back to the farm and do what I love.
Well, Mike, now we've seen where the great fruit comes from. Now let's go see where we can taste the wines. We're now in the tasting room and joined by Justin Michaud, award-winning winemaker for Coyote Canyon. Justin, the hardware speaks for itself, but how long have you been with Coyote Canyon, and what makes your wine some of the best in the state?
I got started with Coyote Canyon Winery back in 2013. So this was actually my 11th vintage coming up with them. And I was really compelled to work with Coyote, a decade ago because of the diversity and, the quality of the operation that I'd come to learn about. And being part of the team, it stands true. As a 4th generation out in the vineyard, they've 30 years growing, have done a really nice job of learning and, taking advantage of all the nuances of the site. So it seems like every year we're just working with incredible fruit.
And you guys have a wine club?
We do, yeah. We have a great wine club. We grow over 26 different varietals and work with about 20 different varietals here. So yeah, we offer a red, a white, and a mixed wine club. And we do it twice a year, a March and an October shipment. And it's really great because of all the different wines that we can mix in with it.
And speaking of awards, Coyote Canyon has plenty, and Mike's going to tell us about a few that he's most proud of.
This wall is just so impressive because these are all single vineyard awards. The grapes that went into all these wines for these different wineries. And when I first started our winery back in 2005, one of the first awards that we got, where you can see right there on the Wine Advocate, got a 90, and on our 2006 Syrah, we got a 90 on our Big John Cab. I'm just really proud to have earned and being able to show the consistency of our wines.
26 varietals, 30 years, and countless awards. Coyote Canyon has been in Vintners Village for 16 years, and they invite you to come down and have a howling good time. Do you like wine? Do you love pizza? If you answered yes to one or both of those questions, you have to check out Anilare Winery in Benton City. We're joined by Corinne, owner at Anilare. And Corinne, this place is really representative of your path and your journey, so tell me about your background.
Well, I grew up here locally in the Tri-Cities, now a Benton City girl, which I absolutely love. Have entrepreneurship and small business in my blood. My education's in business. This has been a great opportunity for me to dive into the wine industry and have incredible mentors along the way, but had a corporate job out of school and really wanted to dive into being creative and have my own business and serve community and showcase what the Washington wine industry has to offer.
And what does Anulare mean?
Anulare means to desire in Italian, or yearn for. It also means to strive. It has strong Latin roots, which means to strive, which is truly my mantra.
And how did it come to be, Anulare Winery?
We really just started drinking wine here in Washington State, traveling to California and seeing the industry down there. We were just seeing the explosion back in 2005 of the industry. And the opportunity was great. We fell in love with viticulture, enology, of course the business side of it as well. And just serving people and meeting people and teaching people just about the vineyards and the wine and life and having fun.
I love that. So you have a passion for entrepreneurship, wine, and also for pizza. I love this story. You have to tell me again.
Stars aligned. It's a great story. We found a pizza oven in Benton City that was kind of old and beat up, and I got it all fixed up and beautiful right during the pandemic, and practiced because we were closed down. And it's just taken off, and my team can make the most beautiful pizzas. And you know, going back to what I was saying earlier, it's really fun to source local ingredients and pair it with our beautiful wines.
So wine, pizza, what else do you guys offer at Anulare?
Well, this property is really special. I'm the only one over here on the McBee hillside, but we look back at Red Mountain, one of the most beautiful AVAs in the state of Washington. So you have views of Red Mountain, Rattlesnake, Badger, down Badger Canyon, and then we have the Horse Heaven Hills behind us. And it's a really lovely place to show people where all the action's happening and where we're sourcing our fruit and what's happening out here in the Washington wine industry.
So when people drink your wine, what can they expect?
Well, we're drinking our Anulare Sangiovese, and the fruit is off of Ciel de Cheval Vineyard, Red Mountain. So Ciel de Cheval is one of the original vineyards planted on Red Mountain. And Jim Holmes, the owner of the vineyard, he's been a big mentor to me, and his fruit is just incredible. So along the way with wine, what's so special is there's many hands that go into the bottle. So if you think about Jim and his team and what they do to put into their fruit, and then our team here to showcase it and talk about it and share it with everybody. So really it's relationships across the board. We're all willing to work together.
Great pizza, views, and of course wine to be desired. Come see for yourself and have a slice of what Anulare has to offer. Right about now, grapes are being harvested. But the quality of these grapes, meaning the quality of the wine, is determined in the growing process. I'm out in the vines to learn how RDO Equipment Company is helping growers get the most out of their crop. We're here with Trevor talking about Smart Apply. Trevor, what is Smart Apply and how does it help growers?
So Smart Apply is a spray system that uses LiDAR to read the foliage and density of the crop type that they're spraying. The advantage of that is it reads the density, allowing the appropriate amount of chemical to be applied while reducing overusage of chemicals, runoff, and drift.
And last time I caught up with RDO Equipment Company, we were talking about the John Deere Operations Center. Can Smart Apply share its data?
Yes, so Smart Apply will pair with John Deere Operations Center, giving the grower a holistic approach and a view on spray patterns, spray cycles, application maps, coverage logs, and to make sure that their sprayers are applying the spray as needed and as desired for their spray recommendations.
And with that acquisition, what does it mean for the future of intelligent spraying?
With John Deere acquiring Smart Apply, we look to continue to move forward with improving the technology and the efficiencies and the adaptability and usability of the system while integrating this more into John Deere's portfolio.
And when we're talking about efficiency, a big part of that is cost savings. So if I'm a grower, what are we looking at here for savings?
So in the valley, if you look at the hop farmer in the early season, they're looking 80 to 90% savings with an overall annual average savings about 40 to 50%. So it's variable by crop type, but it's a good fit for the region.
And when it comes to the quality of wine, how does technology relate into that?
Wine is down to the ounce in the seconds. Wine grapes are some of the most particular crops. So we got to make sure that we're putting in the right grape, the right time at the right place. And to be that efficient, technology has to be there. If you're not using technology to make sure you're putting that exactly where it needs to be, then what we're really doing is we're creating a lot of waste. And not only does that affect the economics, it affects the environmental quality of those crops.
So Dave, what does GUS stand for and how can it help operations?
So GUS is our completely autonomous unmanned vehicle. It's a spray tractor, and it's designed to go up and down the rows consistently and produce the most efficient coverage that we can produce.
And who operates it and how many can you operate at one time?
So right now we are recommending at least one operator to 4 GUSs based off terrain and field conditions that we see. Depending on what fields look like, we possibly can stretch that out, but it is made for one operator in a truck to monitor at least 4 GUSs.
And GUS is fairly new to the autonomous spraying world. How has it been performing?
You know, as fields change, side slopes or up and down, GUS is meant to go, and it goes consistently. It doesn't worry about clocking in the morning. It's meant to spray.
You don't just get the name Reliable for nothing. And
Nope.
we learned about Smart Apply. Is GUS compatible with Smart Apply?
Yes, so we are taking some of the spray benefits and the reduction in application, and we're adopting that to a lot of the savings and efficiencies that GUS produces. So we will be able to blend both of those together.
And there's more than one GUS, correct?
Yes, so there are 2 versions of GUS. There's an Orchard GUS, which is the bigger platform, and then there is the Mini GUS, which is what we are kind of seeing best fits the Pacific Northwest for our areas. It can both fit and adopt to vineyards, orchards, hops. So it's smaller, meant for the more narrow rows and compatible for the PNW.
So next time you're enjoying a glass of wine, pause and think about the technology that went into it, partly due to the efforts of the hardworking people, I'm not just talking about GUS, at RDO Equipment Company. Sometimes it can be tough to gather your friends and head out to a winery, but Goose Ridge in Richland is close to home and more than just a winery. We're joined by Taylor and Molly, 4th and 3rd generation at Goose Ridge Winery. Molly, tell me a little bit more about Goose Ridge.
Oh, thanks. So Goose Ridge is a local family-owned and operated winery right here in Richland, Washington. So the winery is owned by myself and my brother Bill Munson and my sister Valerie Munson.
And you guys offer a lot more than just wine.
Yeah, so we have a few things in front of us, but yeah, our family is very diversified agriculture. So we started in the really Yakima Valley and started in the tree fruit and cattle business. And we came to the Tri-Cities in the 90s and really just blew up in the wine industry from there. The wine industry was just booming then, and everyone was growing wine grapes. You couldn't grow them fast enough. And so being a diversified family, we really wanted to get into that industry. And so here we are today.
And we have at Goose Ridge Winery a little bit of something for everybody. Can you tell me a little bit more about Munson Ranch Distillery?
Yeah, so we acquired the distillery here a few years ago.
Yeah, so the distillery is located in Prosser, Washington, and we partner with master distiller Brian Morton. He has a lot of knowledge in the distillation industry and was able to work with us to distill the products that we were looking to offer the community.
And what's really great about Munson Ranch Distillers is everything that we have is farm to bottle. So essentially everything we offer here in the tasting room, we grow and we farm, and we're able to do the whole process on that and have a finished product.
And so you guys can attract more than just wine drinkers. They can drag those that maybe don't get excited about a winery, not our type of people. So we have a lot on the table. Can you walk me through a few of your products?
Yeah, so what I actually have in front of me here is our 25th anniversary Goose Ridge Cabernet. This year's actually our 25th anniversary under vine, and next year will be our 25th anniversary of our winery being open. So this space we're actually sitting in right now was actually our production facility. This is where all of our barrels were. This is where we made the wine, and now we do have our facility across the freeway. And so if the walls could talk, we always say. And so anyways, we have our lovely Goose Ridge Cabernet in front of us, which we have 2,200 acres of estate wine grapes around us. Everything we do on the wine side is estate, so everything is from our vineyards here, and 100% sustainable. And then Molly, do you want to talk about Revelation?
I have Revelation Rosé. Revelation Rosé was an inspiration founded by the women in the Munson family that founded the vineyard and winery in the next generation. So it celebrates women in business and local. We partnered with a local artist, Katie Small, to produce the label. And it's sold nationally, but you can find it at your local retailers as well as here in the tasting room.
I love that. And then you guys have cider, and I have a martini espresso in front of me. So like I said, something for everyone.
Absolutely. It's really important that everyone knows that everyone's welcome here. We're friendly and approachable, and we're much more than just wine. We welcome people to bring out their families and enjoy the grounds outside. And this winter, and as the weather gets colder, sit here in front of the fireplace, and you'll always have an enjoyable time. We have live music 3 nights out of the week, and with local musicians playing, and so it's a great atmosphere.
For wine, ciders, and even cocktails, visit Goose Ridge Winery in Richland. The sheer number of wine, food, and activity options in Walla Walla make it hard to decide where to start. Wander Walla Walla Valley Wines gives you winemaker curated itineraries for the fall and winter months. From activities to food, and of course wine, let's check it out. We're starting in downtown Walla Walla at Echolands Winery, and we're joined by Jenna and Brian. Jenna, tell me a little bit about your itinerary.
Absolutely. So our itinerary is all about flexibility. We're looking for options that can bring the whole crew, that you can just walk in, easy, breezy, wonderful day in Walla Walla. So one of them is Woodward Canyon. They are the second winery to be established in Walla Walla, and they have a beautiful garden, a really nice atmosphere, and outstanding wines. There's also Happy Wanderer, which is a really great Mexican restaurant in Walla Walla, great vegetarian options. And then Pioneer Park, which is kind of a park for everyone, and is just a really fun, beautiful area that was designed for people to meander and walk around.
So something for the whole family. And Brian, one thing about your itinerary that I love is that it's really a cultural experience as well.
We added on there the Whitman National Site. It's a great place to go and visit. Talks a lot about our history. It was a stop on the Oregon Trail, an important part of our history. There's so much on there that's cool to see and do.
You're the winemaker here at Echolands, so tell me a little bit about Echolands Winery.
It's the brainchild of Doug Frost, who's a master of wine and a master sommelier, 2 very hard certifications to reach. But he's down to earth, and he loves connecting with people over this beverage. We at Echolands really try to keep our price points accessible to everybody. We really believe in lower alcohol wines that display a lot of freshness and a lot of bright acids so that they pair well with food.
I understand that you have some new things coming down the line for the winery.
That's right. So we're building a brand new winery out at a very high elevation, former wheat field, out in a zone called Mill Creek on the east end of the valley. We won't get it open until March of 2024, so it's right around the corner. In the meantime, we're down in our beautiful downtown tasting room. It's elegant, it's a wonderful space, it's casual. You can roll in here with or without reservations, depending on how full things are. So we'll try to catch you at either place.
There are many tasting rooms in downtown Walla Walla, but just a few miles out of town, you'll find yourself sipping on a different experience out on the vineyard, including here at Kinhaven with beautiful views of the Blue Mountains. And we're joined by Casey and Cameron. Casey, tell me a little bit about your itinerary.
Absolutely. So we love to support owner-owned and ran businesses here in Walla Walla, and we are the dreamers. The thing about Walla Walla that's so magical is that you can start a small business and live out your dream and support others that are doing the same.
And Cameron, Walla Walla has a lot to offer during the fall and winter months.
This is a great time of year to be in Walla Walla. It's magical. There's an energy. Holiday Barrel, for example, is really great. And connect with the winemakers, the owners, or restaurants, and it's a really special time.
Well, you guys have been here in Walla Walla for just a couple of years. So Casey, can you tell me a little bit about Kinhaven?
Absolutely. We have a space here with a beautiful vineyard, and we just feel very fortunate to be able to have this beautiful view of the Blues to enjoy each other's company here.
And enjoy some wine.
Cheers.
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 Now in its 7th year, Wander Walla Walla has 7 itineraries available for this year's self-guided, pay-as-you-go experience. To start your adventure, visit the website on your screen. Off the beaten path, Whitman Hill Winery in Zillah is focused on building relationships, best curated over a glass of wine.
Actually, the wine business brought us to Yakima. We had a winery over on the west side of the mountains, but we sourced fruit from throughout the Yakima Valley, and the more time went by, we really focused on this particular area in the valley to establish our winery. Well, we really got started as consumers, collecting wine, tasting wines, and the more we did that, the more interested I became and intrigued I became with the process and what makes a great wine or a good wine or an okay wine. And so as that journey continued, we started looking at the possibility of starting a winery and what that would entail. Found a winery that I could apprentice at and spent time through harvest and learning the process, and from there we traveled around the valley buying fruit, and as we bought and visited more and more vineyards, we focused on the Zillah area, and specifically where we are today is producing some of the highest quality fruit we could find.
Well, we started our first winery in Bellingham, and we just started making our first non-commercial vintage was in our friend's garage, and we made about 150 cases, and we needed to name it, so we just called it The Garage. And that's how the Garage label came about, was just from our humble beginnings making wine in the garage.
As we were producing commercial wines under a different name, we had friends and family that would ask about the Garage. Where's the Garage wine? Can we get more of the Garage? And so we brought that label back and under a commercial label and still produce it today.
Our facility really has been a dream of ours. As soon as we bought property over here in the valley, we wanted to create a place for people to be in the middle of wine country, be immersed near the vineyards, and just have a beautiful place to taste wonderful wine and enjoy the experience and make memories. Yeah, people can purchase wines, of course, here at the tasting room in Zillah. They can also purchase them online at whitmanhillwine.com. They're also found locally in Yakima at Ray's IGA and also Stems.
One of the biggest differences is all of our wines are estate wines, meaning that we produce all of our wines from the grapes that we grow on our property. That allows us really to farm and manage the vineyard in a way that is going to create the best wine we can make. We have a new production facility planned. We also are planning an additional tasting room space that will again just add to that immersive experience in the wine tasting and in wine enjoyment.
From events to wine tasting, learn more about what Whitman Hill has to offer at whitmanhillwines.com. Some like to venture out to the winery, while others might prefer to stay closer to home and have a more relaxed and intimate experience. Moraga-Stan in the Kennewick Wine Village has beautiful views of the river and has a great story. We're joined by Kyle and Amy Johnson, owners of Moraga-Stan and Purple Star Winery. So, Amy, what is your favorite part about making the wine?
I think it's knowing that every vintage is different and you get a different challenge, and then also knowing that this wine, this product that we're making and crafting is going to be years down the road, bringing together loved ones and family to share experiences and create new memories.
And labels are a big part. Some people go into the grocery store and buy bottles based upon the labels or the unique stories behind them, and I understand Moraga-Stan has a pretty cool story.
Yeah, it actually is best told over a bottle of wine, but in order to keep it simple, basically we took our grandfather's signatures and put them on the label here. We found these signatures after they had passed from letters that they wrote home to their wives during World War II.
Let's head down to Purple Star Winery where Amy's gonna show us how it's made.
So today we're processing Counoise from Boucher Vineyard. It came in and it's lovely, hand-picked. What's happening here is we're tipping it into our hopper and it goes up right here, this lovely conveyor belt, so that we can check for MOG. MOG is basically an acronym for material other than grapes. So during hand picking, we usually don't get a lot of that, but sometimes during machine pick, you'll get leaves or stems or things like that we don't want to go into the fruit. So we do punch downs twice a day. As you can see right here, we're in active fermentation by those CO2 bubbles that are popping up every time I stir up the cap. It also dissipates the heat and makes sure that the cap is evenly moist so that you don't get any little hot spots or problems for phage or any bad bacteria. This bin here is about halfway through primary fermentation, so we'll do these twice a day punch downs for probably another 7 to 10 days. All right, we are here in our barrel room where it's 55 degrees and about 55% humidity. It's where the barrels come after they've undergone primary and malolactic fermentation, and this is where they come to store and age and really build up that mouthfeel that we all expect out of red wines. Now, the protocol for storing your barrels in the cold room can be anywhere from 18 months to up to 5 years. Again, it's just a winemaking choice on what program you want to follow, how much histamines and tannin influence you want, and whether you're using French oak, American oak, Hungarian oak, and if they're new or neutral. So here's where they live, and right now these are actually empty. We're waiting to rinse them out and fill them with what we're pressing today. So this is our Sangiovese that we just pressed off for a client. And after the end of the red press, this is what's left, and you can see how efficient this press is. See how nice and dry it is? We've gotten every last bit of good juice out of there.
How can people taste your wines?
Well, we have 2 locations. If you want to see the action of us making wine in the production facility, come on out to Benton City. We'd love to have you. We are open every day except for Monday, 11 to 5. Or you can visit our Moraga-Stan Wine Bar here in downtown Kennewick at the Columbia Wine Garden and Artisan Village. We are open Wednesday through Sunday from 1 p.m. until 8 p.m.
Those wanting to experience a winery can find Purple Star out in Benton City, or those that want to slow down can find Moraga-Stan in the Kennewick Wine Village, even if it's just for a glass of wine after work. As a reminder, you can watch Apple Valley Wine anytime at applevalleynewsnow.com. Just click on Apple Valley Wine. A big thank you to all of our guests, and thank you at home for watching. For Apple Valley Wine, I'm Jamie Council. We'll see you next time.